Please make it feel welcome, Mel Novit!
It's not easy being a sex symbol. Oh, come on, everywhere I go the chicks are checking me out. I see you check me out and I know what you're wondering. Boxers or Depends? Well, I'm wearing both, damn it. I got this hideous panty line you can see from the back of the room. Every now and then, though, I get in a hip-hop mood. I leave a few inches of the diaper showing. It's a very hot look, especially when I'm twerking. I would twerk for you tonight, but I got arthritis so bad you wouldn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm thrilled to be here in New York and back in Caroline's for my third time. And, well, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. And I wanted to look my very best, okay? So I decided to pull out all the stops. And I went to one of these $5.99 hairstyling salons. And I said, give me highlights. I called the manager over. I said, this is your idea of highlights? He said, well, what you complaining about? We made you look like Michael Jordan. I said, I don't look like Michael Jordan. If I wanted to look like Michael Jordan, I would have gone to a tanning salon. I wasn't out that door for 5 minutes when I'm accosted by these rough-looking dudes all dressed in black with scraggly beards and chains hanging from their pockets, chasing me for 2 blocks with skinhead, skinhead. I was terrified. I never knew that Orthodox Jews could be that aggressive. Honest to God. Actually, I used to have a beautiful head of hair on my bureau. I belonged to the Hair Club for Men, and I quit because they were a bunch of lying rat bastards. Do you remember that commercial on TV where they show the dude swimming around the pool, the beautiful girl, and they said anyone can swim wearing one of their toupees, right? So of course I bought it. I pasted it on my head. I jumped into the deepest end of the pool, and I almost fucking drowned. Because I can't swim. I want to tell you, when I was growing up, that was such a big deal. It was like having leprosy to lose you're losing your hair, dude, you better get married. You got about 6 months left, you better get a wife. So like a dumb schmuck, I got married twice. First marriage was to a Middle Eastern woman who wore a burqa. Now I always thought the women in burqas were very hot, especially in July and August. So there I was at this wet burqa contest. And I see this chick across the room. I thought, hey man. I walked right up to her and I looked in that little window. And I said, boy, that chick got the best pair of eyes I've ever seen. Anyway, that marriage did not go well because after 6 months, she gave me an identification bracelet with an engraving that said, do not resuscitate. And after a year, when she started poisoning my orange juice, I knew there could be a problem. Anyway, I did get married a second time. And this is for real. I've been married for 35 years. Please, it's been a horrible experience. She's constantly asking me to do things that I don't want to do, like take out the garbage, wash the dishes, drop dead. The other night she says, you're taking me out tonight and you're going to take me someplace expensive. So I dropped the bitch at the gas station. She tells me I don't listen, and she's right. If I'd have been listening to my wedding vows, that part about till death do us part, I probably would have stabbed her to death and taken a prison sentence instead. At least I'd have gotten some hot meals and sex. After 35 years of marriage, I'm still having protected sex. I carry a gun. Because that's the only way I'm getting in it. Just recently, we decided to have safe sex, so we had guardrails put on the bed. I want to tell you, a lot of things change when you've been married a long time. I mean, there was a time I would bring toys to bed, you know, like Tickle Me Elmo, a vibrator. Now the only thing I bring to bed is a defibrillator. Only way to breathe some life into that bitch. When we were young and in love, we'd hug and we'd kiss before we went to sleep at night and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Now we just look at each other, we shake hands and say, good luck. I hope you wake up. Thank you very much. This is generous audience. I just want to say, first of all, I started doing stand-up comedy when I was 70. And I am now 77. Thank you. Are you applauding me because you love me, or just because you can see me breathing? And I'm sick and tired of having people say, oh Mel, you're so well preserved for your age. Who the hell do I look like, King Tut? A jar of pickles? Or else they say, 77 isn't old. 77 is young. 77 is yesterday, 74 and a half. Yeah, like you go into a clothing store and buy a shirt that's 77 years old. Would you go into an Outback Steakhouse and order a 77-year-old piece of meat? Do you think when I was 20 I dreamt about sleeping with a 70-year-old woman?